guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Abby and I'm so excited about today's video because we're going to be doing some knotless braids using Curlsqueen. I had such a great time creating this video and filming this step-by-step tutorial for you guys. And first off, I want to talk about this hair because wow, y'all, like this human hair, this is their natural deep wave hair, and the bundles come with so much hair. It was such an easy process to use this hair, and I'm excited to give you guys more details on the hair later on in the video as well. Starting with the preparation and the parting for your hair, you want to make sure you're starting off with your hair blow dried. Make sure you can run your fingers through so that you can be able to part comfortably. This tri-fold mirror that I have behind me was a savior in this entire process. So if you don't have one, I would definitely invest in getting one of these. And basically I'm doing medium braids. I like to use this parting method. So basically I'm having 7 rows in total. The first step is dividing the back of my hair. So I'll go from ear to ear, and in that back section, I create 2 subsections, which will be my 2 rows at the bottom. Once I finish doing those 2 rows and kind of putting it away with these twists, I'm gonna go ahead and divide the front of my hair into 2 sections. Once I divide those 2 sections, I'm going to divide those sections into 5 subsections on each side. In total, I'm gonna have 7 rows to complete this medium look for these knotless boho braids. For each subsection that I create, I go ahead and twist it down, and I was using rubber bands to help the hair kind of stay in place. So you can use that method, or you can braid it down, or simply just clip it away so that you can keep your hair neat and organized. So when you start parting the middle section, it can all make sense. Now that I have my 5 subsections on one side, I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that process on the other side. And for the middle section, what I'm going to do is use those lines that I created in the front to connect all of those sections in the back. This is a little blurry clip, but if you can see through that tri-fold mirror, I'm basically using those lines in the front, and I'm going across my head to connect those lines. That will easily allow me to create U parts in order to get all 7 rows. Now for the preparation of the boho hair, I like to take smaller sections of the entire bundle and kind of break that hard cast that it has at the top. I use a little bit of the product that I'm going to be using on my actual hair. In this case, I'm just using some braiding gel, and I apply that to the top portion of the curly hair. And then I break it into little pieces, allowing me to get the pieces that I'm going to be using in the braid. And I do this. This takes a good amount of time, so you want to make sure you're doing this before you even start the process of braiding your hair. Make sure all of your curly hair is prepared along with the braiding hair. The main product that I'm using to braid my hair is this lock-in gel. This is my go-to for any braid style. I absolutely love this. And now we're gonna dive into the braid installation. I'm starting off in the back because I wanna make sure that I'm using that break layer method that I talked about earlier in the video. So I'm gonna start off by placing 4 boxes in this first row in the back. Now we're going to begin the braiding process. So I like to divide my boxes into 3 subsections to feed in the braiding hair so that I can have that knotless look. And in this back row, I'm only going to be adding 2 curly pieces to each braid. And typically in the past, I wouldn't add any curly pieces on this back row. But because I just felt so comfortable with how this hair was working in the preparation process and how soft it was, I knew that I wasn't going to run into any tangles or anything like that. So I'm starting off with 2 curly pieces back here. Once I have the braid at a good enough length and thickness that I like, I go ahead and flip the braid forward so that I can be more comfortable braiding. And this is where I'm going to add in my curly pieces. Our first row is complete. We have our 4 braids with 2 pieces of curls in each braid. And now we're gonna dive into our second row. Now you heard me talking a little bit about that brick layer method earlier in the video. And basically all that means is that I'm creating boxes in each row above so that they fall in between the boxes that I had in the previous row. So because I had 4 boxes on the lower row, I'm going to create 5 boxes in the second row so that they can fall in between each other. And I'm just going to repeat the process of braiding down until I feel a good enough thickness of the braid. And then I'm going to add my curly pieces. In this second row, I went ahead and added 3 pieces of curly hair because I was aiming to have a very full look. And what I like to do also is leave a little bit of space at the bottom of my braid because this is what I'm going to curl, and it just gives it a really nice full effect at the end of the braid when I dive into the maintenance process of these curls. All right, so now let's slow things down a bit. I'm going to show you my installation process for these knotless braids. When you have your box, you want to go ahead and divide that box into 3 sections. And then you're going to begin braiding. So you're going to take your left index finger and grab the piece that's on the right. And then you're going to move that middle piece over to your right, grip it with your right hand. And with that right index finger, you're going to grip the piece to the left. And then you're going to repeat that 1 more time. Once you have a good grip of your hair, you're going to take a piece of the braiding hair and you're going to hook it between your index and middle finger to feed it into that box. And then you're going to take a second piece, hook it once again, feed it into that section, and then you want to grab a third piece of hair, hook it, and feed it into that section so that you can have a medium braid. To have a more comfortable braiding experience, I like to flip that braid forward as you see me doing here so that I can have a better way to braid the hair down. Once I feel like I've braided down enough, I'm going to grab one of those curly pieces. And here again, I'm just hooking it onto the braid and then I continue braiding down. I do that a few times until the curly piece of hair is at the front and I can grip it using my mouth, or you can use a clip if you have one. And then I continue to braid down, and here I'm going to also grab another piece of braiding hair, and this is to ensure that the braid is continuously the same size as I go down and to also hide my natural hair. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab that second piece of curly hair, add it in there. I'm using product as I go as well to kind of just melt my hair into the braiding hair. In this braid, I actually added in 4 pieces of curls, and this is just going to ensure a very full look. So for each row, I went ahead and added another curly piece. So I started with 2, then 3, then 4, and then towards the top, I went in with 5 pieces of curly hair to each braid. I'm going to continue the same process for the rest of my hair using that bricklayer method, staggering each braid between the braid that's underneath. If you follow this method, you'll be able to have a really nice full look, and remember to keep adding more curly pieces to your hair as you rise up in rows. I also wanted to give you guys some more details on this boho hair. I have had such a great experience using this curly hair. It is so soft, it's so full, so fluffy, and the maintenance has been exceptional. I love working with real, natural, human hair for my boho styles just because it just eases the entire process as you continue to have the hairstyle in. These curly pieces do not tangle, they stay in their same form. It's just been such a good experience throughout the installation process, and also having my hair in for a few days now. The hair looks incredible. So once we're finally done braiding all of the hair, you should have something that looks a little bit like this. So full, so nice, and I was able to move the hair around. This parting method really allows for you to have a very neat look. As you can see on both sides, the hair is just staggered and it looks so nice. Now that I've installed all of the curly pieces into my braids, I'm going to go ahead and focus on curling the ends of my hair. So the first part in this is separating the boho hair that I'm using and clipping it up so that it's not in my way when I go to dip the hair. And in the beginning of this video, I mentioned how I don't braid the hair all the way down, and that's because I like to use these flexi rods to curl the hair. So I'm gonna take a few flexi rods and I'm grabbing a few braids at a time and curling them on the flexi rod. And I'm going to take this, dip it in some hot water so it can stay formed. And if you don't have flexi rods, another good option is using perm rods. I prefer the style of a flexi rod just because it gradually curls the hair, so you get like a bigger curl at the top and then it tightens up towards the bottom. And to dip the hair, I'm going to be using this pitcher, and I have my kettle with hot water, and I like to pour it lightly on top of those flexi rods or those pieces where the curls are. I pat dry with my towel and I let it cool down for about 2 minutes before I go ahead and remove those flexi rods. Maintaining this style is super simple. I like to use a deep conditioner and some water with a few other products that I'm going to share. First off, I'm using this African Pride Peppermint, Rosemary, and Sage mask along with some water to dilute it. Then I go in with this olive oil serum, and then the final product is this Lotta Body Wrap Me Foaming Mousse. I like to work in sections, so I take some of the hair and I basically just coat all of the braids and the curly hair with this diluted deep conditioner. Make sure that it passes through all of those curls. Then I follow up with that serum. And y'all, do you see my hands just flowing through these braids? It's just such a great experience with this hair. This hair is so soft, so nice. I use a whole bunch of that serum to make sure that the curls are moisturized. And then final step is to use the foaming mousse and apply it there. And the same thing that I do on this one side, I'm going to repeat on the other side. If you follow these steps, I can guarantee you that your curls are going to last and you're going to have such a nice style for a very long time. And just like that, the look is finished. I'm so happy with these results. First of all, these curls are so nice. This hair, thank you so much, Curlsqueen. I'm so happy with this hair and how it feels. And also, this parting method eats down, y'all. I can guarantee you're gonna enjoy how your hair looks if you follow this parting method. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope this was super helpful. And of course, I will see y'all in my next one. Bye.